My name is Abigail Sims, and I have the privilege for working at the Joyful Heart Foundation, and we're so honored to be here today and to be at this conference that's been put together so incredibly beautifully by everyone at Calcasa, and Harkmore, and Ellen, and David, and Robert, and Cindy, and Phil, and Jessica, who helped me this morning with those slides, have been unbelievably welcoming and let us do this thing that we wanted to do, which is part of our Heal the Healers program and includes part of what we're doing at the panel today, and we've done some workshops too. But the most important thing for us is to share the message that we have of supporting people who have dedicated their lives to supporting people that have experienced, individuals and communities that have experienced trauma, and that it's so important for all of us to stay well in this work. And that's what the speakers following me are going to be about. In the film we just watched, we invited people to join the revolution, and I want to be clear on what we mean about that. We weren't asking people to stage a revolt, though you may be welcome to do that if you want. We really are asking for a revolution, a turn towards the issues that we're seeking to address. And I read a book called Revolution from Within by Gloria Steinem, and she quotes a Polish journalist, Ryszard Kapuscinski, and he says, "All books about revolutions begin with a chapter that describes the decay and tottering of authority or the misery and sufferings of the people. They should begin with a psychological chapter, one that shows how a harassed, terrified woman suddenly breaks her terror, stops being afraid. This unusual process, sometimes accomplished in an instant, like a shock, demands to be illustrated. The woman gets rid of fear and feels free. Without that, there would be no revolution." I changed a couple of the gendered pronouns in that quote. Many of us in this room, myself definitely included, experienced one of those revolutionary moments, a moment that brought us to this work, a moment when we turned away from a system that undermines our self-authority and turns toward a vision of a society that values the intrinsic value of all people. And some of us were brought here when we went to a Take Back the Night rally, or when we wrote a paper about sexual assault and did some research. Some of us came here because of the suffering that we ourselves had experienced and the trauma that we experienced in our lives. Some had their moment when they took a self-defense class and realized that we all do have the right to be safe, and that your physical and emotional integrity is more important than the status quo and making other people feel comfortable. And all these moments together over time and generations created this community and this conference and this world that we want to live in. And the people in this room model what it means to be that kind of person and model what it means to be that kind of revolutionary. And I want to acknowledge the radical nature of that, because I really do think right now that it's radical to tell ourselves, it's been radical for me in my work, to tell ourselves that we deserve to be nurtured. We deserve to have rich inner lives. But it's only when we take this step and include ourselves in the community that we're charged to care for that we can really realize our vision. David Lee wrote an email to me recently about this panel when we were planning it, and he said, "Indeed, the ultimate goal of the sexual assault prevention movement is to create healthy, balanced, and thriving people and communities." And that is our ultimate goal, and sometimes it's hard for us. Sometimes it feels uncomfortable to put anything ahead of doing everything for other people, or undo that conditioning that says all my time and effort should be spent on anything other than my own well-being. So it's really groundbreaking to make this turn and look at ourselves and say, what can I do to support myself? And it does make some people uneasy, but I'll quote Subcomandante Marcos said, "Sentimos las molestias, pero está una revolución." Sorry for the inconvenience, but this is a revolution. So, on behalf of everyone at Joyful Heart, I just want to thank you so much for letting us be here and for coming here and for letting us share our work with you. and for sharing your best selves in your work and with the community. And this is how we're all going to be in this together. Thank you so much.